Hello friends, so far we have been using normal Python function where we write the def keyword, function name and return statement. But sometimes we only need a very small piece of logic, just a one line of code as an example. For such situation, Python provides a powerful feature called a Lambda function. So in this video, we will understand what is Lambda function and practically perform it along with a real-time example as well and see how it works exactly in Python. Let's right now talk about what is a Lambda function in Python. A Lambda function is also called an anonymous function. Anonymous means a function without a name. It is written in a single line and automatically returns a value as an output. Lambda functions are best when we do not need to reuse the function multiple times in our Python code. So it isn't best tried if we use a Lambda function in our Python code. Let's right now talk about the syntax of Lambda function. The format of a Lambda function is defined by using this expression. We use a lambda as a keyword, arguments, colon, expression. Like this I have already shown on the screen. There is no return keyword because the expression itself return automatically. Let's understand this with a code right now. See on the screen right now. For the demonstration, I have just write a small code of the snippet over the screen. Just I will explain our overview over here right now how the lambda function is working. In the latter view, I will explain them in a practical approach as well. So see, I use a variable square and then I'm assigning a variable with a function as a lambda keyword over here and evaluating a expression specifically using the lambda function. And then I'm using the print function to call that square and passing the parameter as a 5 there. So basically once you get it evaluated, then the result will be generated for me as 25. So basically a lambda function is a unique function in Python regardless of that normal functions that we use in Python. In a single line, we can optimize our code way much better than the normal functions. So this is just an overview over here right now. We'll explain this in detail with a practical approach as well. Let's right now talk about the lambda function as well and see them in the practical approach as well. As we have already seen a basic overview till right now with the lambda function, right? And we have seen how it defined and how it get evaluated exactly in the basic overview. Now in this thing, I will be going to explain in a practical approach as well right now. So I have already opened my Python window over here. So let me just create a really quick file over here which I am going to name as lambda demo. Okay. So basically for this demonstration, I will be writing a small code of snippets basically over here. But before that, I want to evaluate or mention the expression which I want to evaluate it over here. So basically, I want to perform a operation which will take a number from the user and double it. Means a square of a number specifically, it will evaluate it. Okay. So I will write a small code over here right now, and then I will explain you a step by step over here specifically. So as I'm going to calculate the square, so I'm going to define a function cal sq, and which is taking some variable like a over here, and I want to use a return keyword to return the result, whatever it might get evaluated. So that is the thing that I want to evaluate. Then save the code. Then I want to store that evaluated output in some variable as well, right? So I will be using square equals to and that the function name. And if I want to calculate some specific value like for 5, I want to calculate the square for 5 over here. And then I want to print that square. Okay. See, if I execute the code over here, see, I get the evaluated output as a result. But don't you think over here, for defining or for such simple operation, we have created a function and then we are calling it and then we are printing it. It's like a long code for such doing such small thing, right? So for the same thing, if you want to optimize it in a little single code, then you can use the lambda keyword. Let's right now see how it exactly works. So Let me just comment out this for not getting a confusion afterwards. So right now as well, if I want to calculate the same operation, okay, this time I will use the lambda keyword to make it more optimized. So basically I will use the variable square over here, as I want to make square of a variable. Makes sense that we can use the same name that is matching with the operations too. I'm using the lambda keyword over here. Okay, it is an anomalous function, as we already seen in the theory or the overview part. X colon x into or the power of the 2, as we are going to calculate the power, and then I'm using the print function. Similarly, I want to calculate for the same number or for the 3 over here. See, by using this single 2 lines, not extra code we have to write it. It is the optimal way for performing such operation. We can use the lambda function rather than going with the normal function. If I run the code again, see, I get the same output. So this how, by passing a single argument to the lambda function and evaluated the expression over here. Specifically, after the lambda keyword, the expression is getting evaluated by using this, and then that evaluated output will get assigned to the square variable. Square variable then treat like as a function over here, and in that function we are passing a parameter like we are doing for the same over here. Here is a function, we are passing a parameter to the function and then assigning to the variable, and that variable is printed over here. But here we can directly call the function directly using this variable specifically over here. Somewhat similar, but this is the optimal way. Just a note for you specifically. In this scenario, the code is small, the operation is small, so we can use the lambda function. But make sure if the project is complex and things are very complicated over there, by using the lambda function, it will not make a readable code easily to understand the things. Sometimes it makes confusion for the user. So at large scale level project, we don't use more of the time lambda keywords. Lambda keywords are used specifically for performing a small type of activities or small type of tasks specifically. So this is how we can use the lambda function in Python. Along the path, we will see in the later stage as well how lambda function works along map and the filter functions too. Let's right now talk about single argument along with the lambda function. So suppose if I want to double a number, creating a normal function is unnecessary over here. Lambda function is a perfect fit for here. Let's see why exactly. So for the same, I have shown a small code of snippet over the screen. See, I have write double equals to lambda x colon x into 2, and then I'm using the print function over here to evaluate the output and get the result printed over the screen. So specifically, after the evaluation, it will print the 20 in the result. How exactly? Why? Because we have passed the 10 as a parameter as a single argument over here, and that the lambda function is evaluating that expression on the base of value passed to the function. Specifically, if 10 is passed, then 10 is get evaluated in the x variable, and it will get evaluated and assigned to the double variable specifically. Once I call the double, then passing with the 10 value as a parameter, then it will get evaluated and we get the result. So such a simple expression we can do it by using the lambda function in Python. Let's right now talk about multiple arguments along with the lambda function. So see, lambda function is not only limited to a single argument. We can pass multiple arguments over here. So for the same, I have shown a small code of snippet over the screen. So see, I want to perform a addition operation between the two numbers over here that I can perform using the lambda function. So specifically, I define add, this is a variable, equals to a lambda keyword a comma b colon a plus b. I have put the two variables a comma b and a plus b. I'm evaluating on the same variable over there. And then I want to print the output on the screen. So I use the print function. And in that print function, I call the add function along with passing and parameters like 5 and 7 over here. Once that it get passed, once the lambda function get evaluated with the expression like addition specifically that I am doing it with the lambda function, once that get done, then it will get written as an output, and then we will get the result as well over here. So basically, this is a short overview I have just explained over here. We'll see in the detailed overview with a practical example as well. Let's just right now discuss about lambda function along with the map function and the filter function and see how they exactly work in Python. So specifically, I have write a small code of snippet over the screen. I will explain the thing in the overview over here right now. In the later view, I will explain in the practical approach. So let's right now first see about what is the map function. So map function is used to apply the same operation to every element of a list specifically, and after that operation, the lambda function is defined to perform certain operation on that specifically. So here on the code, if you can see, the map function is taking a list of element over there. And after taking that element as a list, it is passing one by one to the lambda function for the evaluation. Once it get evaluated properly with the things and the operation is done, it is creating a new list, and that new list variable is created or assigning to the square variable over here, and that variable will be printed afterward the operation is done. So this is how we are using the map function in Python along with the evaluation and the operations over here. So in the detailed evaluation I will explain in the later view too. Let's right now see and by a practical example and understand the map function along with the lambda keyword as well and see how they exactly works. So we'll write a small code of snippet over here. Before that, I want to explain the things how it going to be right now. I will take an expression from the point of example to explain in detail properly. So I want to perform an operation like first I want to take a input from the user and perform a cube operation on that specific number and return the output to the user. Okay, so I will write a small code for that right now. So I will going to define a function which is named as cube, as it going to calculate a cube of a specific number. So I'm going to use C over here, and then I'm using the return keyword as I want to return the specific value after the evaluation. So I will write P into C into C. As this we have evaluated the cube over here. Now I'm using another variable as like C data over here, and in that variable I'm going to call that function which is evaluating my cube specifically cube, and I want to calculate the cube for 5 number, and then I want to print that variable. Okay, see, a simple operation just have just printed over here, calculate the cube, and if I run the code, see it printed the respective output for me. Let's right now see in more detail right now. So as for the simple operation, we are using the function definition and the function call and printing that. But what about if we want to calculate the cubes for this type of list, like here 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 3, this type of list if we have with us, and at that time if you want to calculate the cube for each of the element from the list, we can do it by using the loop concept like this: for I in numbers, and then I need to take empty list, like I will define that empty list, and that whatever the cube function that I have already evaluated, that I need to call over here and pass that iterable values one by one, like specifically the list element from the numbers, and I want to define the list over here, empty list specifically, and then I can print that list over here specifically. If I run the code right now, see, I get the output in the result, but see, what is the issue over here right now? We haven't yet deal in the optimal way in the code. We have write the operation in very lengthy and the hectic thing, like it is a long code for doing such operations, right? You won't think so? So for this such optimization of the code, we come across with a concept that is called map function along with the lambda. We'll do same operation, see, cubing of each of the number from the element of the list, okay, by using the lambda function right now. Let me just show you how. Let me just comment out this whole code over here. We don't need it right now. So see, we have a number of list of element over here. and I want to calculate the cube as we already done by using the normal function and the for loop as well. But this time we'll evaluate it by using the map and the lambda function too. So see, if I want to evaluate it, this that I need to just define cubes equals to a map function which will always take map function which is always take an iterable object. Here the number is a iterable object. That is a list type of data type. It is an iterable object. So I'm going to take that number which I want to iterate on, and then I want to define a function or a specific operation. Which type of operation you have to perform on those numbers specifically. So my operation is perform a cube for each of the number. So I'm calling the cube function which we have already defined here. Okay. Now one more thing. If we print this line directly, it will give us the map type of object that is not readable and we cannot understand it. So for that getting understand, we can convert that type of object to a list data type again, so that we can get the result in the correct manner and we can understand this result is correct. So if I print it right now, see, it evaluates the output in the similar manner. Okay, but you are thinking in your mind that where we have used the lambda keyword that you were saying earlier. Okay, okay. So see, specifically, do you think like performing a single cube operation, we need to define a function over here? Really, we don't do you need the function to define over here? I don't think so. Why? Because let me just tell you. So doing such simple operation, we can use the lambda keyword. Okay, how like this we can use it using the lambda keyword x colon. I'm writing the expression that I have right over here. Okay, just I will replace the variable with the same so that it will get properly calculated. See over here. So see, if I comment out this function as right now and then try to run the code, it will give me the same output. Why? Because lambda takes and multiple arguments over here as we take the expression, evaluated the cube over here, and then one by one, like iterating by using the map object, we are iterating on the numbers, and on that numbers for each of the number, lambda is performing a certain operations over there. So that's why using a lambda along with a using lambda along with a map function make the efficient code to write it. So as earlier we are doing lots of operation to do such a simple thing. We are defining a function, we are defining a separate loop over there, but this time by just three single simple lines, we are able to calculate the cubes of each number from the element of a list. So this is how we can use the lambda and the map function too in Python. Let's just right now talk about or see a filter function as well along with the lambda function. So the filter function is used to select only those values which are satisfying certain condition under the expression, and the lambda function is used to write a condition specifically. So see, if I want to calculate a even number from the given list that I have already taken as an example over there, I want to calculate the even number from that list specifically. The operation do want to perform for the even number calculation that I can do using the lambda function. After doing that operation, I am using the filter keyword to filter out the numbers from the respective list that is given in the input from the user. So after that operation is done and evaluation is done, I'm assigning a value to the even variables over here. And then how I'm printing that even variable to get the result as the thing that I asked for. So specifically, this is how we can use it. In the detailed evaluation point, I will explain in the latter thing as well to see how it exactly works. Let's right now talk about the filter function as well and see how it exactly works in Python along. So last time we have already seen using the map function how we can filter the values and calculate the cubes in this specific operation. Okay, now I'm going to use a filter function specifically. Let me just quickly brief about the filter function. Filter function is the function that use to evaluate certain things on the basis of certain conditions specifically. If the condition is matching over there, then if that list or the list of element will get filtered properly, and those element which is getting satisfied with the condition, that will get print for us. So let me just evaluate it by an example over here as well right now. So see, I will use the same number list over here. I want to perform an operation that specifically I want to calculate the even number specifically which are present in this list. So for that I can use the filter function easily along with the lambda function. So I'm going to write a variable even, and I'm going to use a filter keyword over here, filter, and I'm telling lambda function to evaluate this operation. Like lambda is doing the divisible operation of 2. Like we already know, if you want to calculate the even number, it is divisible by 2 and it's so on. So I put the expression x percentage 2 equal to 0 and iterating over the number list. And then as we already know, in the similar manner as we are using along with the map function, at that time we are getting the map object, and this time we are working on the filter. So similarly, filter function also gives some filter object in return. So but we want an readable output, so we are converting that to a list over here, and then I'm simply printing that variable over here. We just save it. Sorry, just a typo over here, let me correct it. Okay, see, I have done the operation. I will explain it one more time. Just bear with me. See, it print the first it print the cubes by using the map function. Then it print the specific numbers that we want to get print from the list 2 and 4. So see over here. Once again I will explain the thing. I take a number of list of element over here, and then I define a variable specifically, and after that I use a filter keyword and a lambda function expression over here. The lambda is doing exactly evaluating the expression, that like the expression specifically over here is divisible by number, and on each number it's checking this number is divisible by 2, this number is divisible by 2 or not. If that is divisible, then it will filter out by using the filter keyword, and as it return the filter object for us, we are converting that object to a list object, and this how it go element by element in the list and check for the condition using the lambda function, and if it is matching, then it is filtering out and then it return to the list type of object over here. So this how the filter function exactly works in Python if you want to satisfy certain condition from the element of a list and return it as an output over here. So friends, today we understood Python Lambda function in detail and also performed them practically too. We covered syntax, real-life examples, and usage along map and the filter functions. In the next video, we will be in exploring detailed depth about Python built-in functions and see them how they exactly works in Python. If you found this helpful, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and press the bell icon. Stay tuned for more Python tutorial. See you in the next video.